Pam, do you want to do a roll call?
Yes, Betty did reach out and say she wouldn't make it today, but I didn't hear anything from the others not present right now. Arthur?
Here.
Counselor Jacutis?
Present.
Jackie? Mary?
Present.
John?
Present.
Smitty?
Here.
Jean Marie? And Debbie.
Present. All right, perfect. We'll get
Megan present.
Megan, yes.
I know. So this is the thing. Whenever Lisa Tobin asked for the list, and I put on there, you know, every month, and it was the one you missed, and she said, why did I have you on the COA list since you're the director? So I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So that's why I didn't. But yes, we're glad you're present.
Well, without you, Megan, we really wouldn't have a meeting. So yes,
Right.
we do need you here.
Right. Well, thank you.
All
It's
right.
nice to be needed, and I need the friends here in the council.
And we'll just start right off, and I'm just going to turn it over to you, Megan.
Okay. I just want to share that the Lynn Senior Center continues its main focus on three things. We're focused on health, aging well, and community information that is provided to seniors in a timely manner. So when I go and talk about the programming, you'll see how all three of those things tie right in. Okay. Here's just some stats. For last month, for April, we were open 20 days and we served 1,182 seniors. We average 4 veterans per day at the Lynn Senior Center, and we average 5 people with limited mobility, usually about 2 wheelchairs and about 3 walkers. That's how we are. Transportation continues to be a vital resource that is utilized by our seniors. It is used for pickup at homes and drop-offs, and we did a total of 484 rides for that. We also use the vehicle to take people out on the monthly outing to a restaurant and a community venue. We do not use the van when we go to the casino. That is a bus that we rent. And for transportation, this is a good segue. With the support of public health, it looks like we're going to have a vehicle that accommodates 2 wheelchairs. And we are very excited about that. I met with Norris yesterday to go over some of the logistics for the vehicle in terms of what type of ramp it has and what is the process for folding and unfolding it, because I want to ensure that it's something that the driver can utilize comfortably.
Okay.
I've requested that they explore having a grab bar at the top of the ramp so that seniors can hold on to that. And I'm asking about the number of seats that are actually available in the vehicle, because we have some seniors that have some mobility challenges, and it might be great for them to be able to get a ride in that vehicle, not necessarily needing a wheelchair, but some mobility issues. And this vehicle has a lower threshold, so it'd be easier for people to get up on if they could get up on that ramp and grab. So we're exploring that, because we really want to make sure that this vehicle is able to meet the needs of the seniors. So very excited about that.
Yes.
All right, so let me move on to money, unless there's any questions on any of that. Okay. So we got the second installment of the formula grant, which is $1,465.
Okay.
And I've been given some guidance and training on using the Munis operating system. So I am working on some bill pays that have to be done down at the senior center. So I'm very excited to share that we have scheduled interviews for the head clerk position.
Oh,
So I think that this is a good experience for me to learn how to do the bills and know that process. So I'm embracing the opportunity to learn how to do it, but I do not want it to be my full-time job at all.
right.
But
Yeah, no,
it's
you
good for
have
me to
enough
know,
do.
and I appreciate the support from public health and helping me figure that out and supporting me with their staff to help do some billing things.
So Megan, I have a question. So I know you're doing your regular job, but since we are looking for the head clerk, you've been not stuck. You also have been figuring out what's going on and what bills need to be paid and
Yes,
trying to decipher everything. Okay.
actually, and I'm just going to add another layer to that onion. We are without a kitchen coordinator, so all the staff is supporting breakfast and lunch, and that includes me, Tanya, Barbara, Rachel. So we're all doing a lot of different jobs at one time to ensure that we're still providing the services and resource to our seniors. So some stuff on the back end has kind of been pushed back, but hopefully, not hopefully, I have no choice but to catch up on everything because we're rounding out the fiscal year and it's my responsibility to make sure everything is in place, and that's what I'm going to do.
Where is our kitchen coordinator?
Right.
I believe the position was just posted last week.
Okay. All right. So you'll be doing interviews on that
Soon.
also.
Yes.
And that's a process. I know that has to be posted for a few weeks and then determined from there. All right.
Yes.
You'll be busy with interviews.
Yes. Deb?
Yes, could I just ask, so I know that one of the things that was holding up the interviews or hiring a clerk was that it was imperative almost that the new clerk speak Spanish because of all the Spanish-speaking people at the senior center. It's been difficult for them to communicate. Do you think that's going to be the same for a kitchen coordinator?
No, it is not.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's fine because it's good because we're engaging and sharing information. Another piece of exciting news. Has anyone seen the outside of our building recently?
Oh, yes, with the sign, the letters. It's so nice.
Yes. So we have one sign on the wall that says Lynn Senior
Nice.
Center. You can see that from the end of the street so people will know where to come. And over the awning of our entrance, it says COA entrance.
Nice.
So I am very, very happy and proud that that is finally there for us.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. All right. I'm going to move on to the activities. So I'm not going to give you the dates for all of these things because I want people to read the newsletter, go onto the website and see the calendar in the newsletter that is posted. But I will tell you what is forthcoming. We have crafts on Friday. We have art with Sunil on Friday. And we continue to have our game club on Friday and our knitting and crochet group. So we need some new people to join knitting and crochet. There's lovely ladies. They have a whole room and they're willing to teach people. I wish I had some time to sit with them to be taught myself. But it's a warm and welcoming place, and I'm hoping that other people will join. We have some new programming coming up as well. These are two programs from GLIS. One is called Healthy Eating. It is a 6-week program, and the other program is Chronic Pain Management. And also on the health side, on Tuesday, June 3rd, the medical van from Brigham's Mass General will be here to assist people with medical. They usually do blood pressure screenings, blood sugar checks, And sometimes they do weight checks as well. So please do call, and you can schedule a time to come down and do that here with the center. Also on the line of health, we have mindful meditation, which is a program we've probably had a couple of months. It is well received. It's quiet, slow movement, tranquility. It allows people to kind of get grounded and centered in their space with their being. Additionally, we have the chair yoga, which is a great hit. People really love chair yoga, and that is an amazing instructor. And that's every Tuesday from 12:30 to 1:15 down in our cafe space. Additionally, on the lines of health, we have Claudia that comes down twice a month to help people with mass health applications. And we have some very interesting trips planned for this month. They are going to go to Richardson's Ice Cream in Middleton. Excuse me, I said this month. We're still in May. This is for June. They're going to go to Richardson's Ice Cream in Middleton. The trip to the casino would be Encore. We switch back and forth to different casinos. Encore is our fallback, but they also go to the Brook in New Hampshire, and there's another casino. But Smitty could probably elaborate on that more than I.
It's called the Natch.
There you go. Thank you very much. And there's also got to be strawberry picking up in Haverhill for June. We have some presentations around history. There's going to be a presentation on John Adams. There's going to be a reading from the librarian, one of the librarians, along with Tanya. The book is going to be called The Last Leaf. We have senior chat with Calvin, and Calvin always gets the most interesting people to come down to the Lynn Senior Center to share information. For the month of June, it will be Sheriff Carpenter. Carpenter. And on the 13th, there will be a trip to Pine Grove Cemetery.
Oh.
On the 17th, there'll be a Juneteenth presentation. I believe Councilor Nicole McLean is going to be doing that. On Thursday, the 26th, there will be a presentation from Public Health on skincare. And on Thursday, the 26th, AARP caregiving. AARP will be presenting on caregiving here at the Lynn Senior Center. We also have a special treat on the 27th, which is a Friday. We are going to be celebrating birthdays, and we are going to have our first luau.
Oh,
Wow.
So all of these activities really support healthy, aging well, and community resources for our seniors.
nice. Busy month.
We try to keep it busy, and we really like to give people more than one opportunity to kind of pick and choose where they want to spend their time. Like some examples are the two programs from GLIS. They're at the same time because we have a little more space, so you can pick if you want to go to chronic pain or if you want to be part of healthy living. We had a great turnout for a program that we had last month that just ended from UMass School of Nutrition called Bingo Size. People really enjoyed that. That was a bilingual program about eating and exercising. So again, we're just really trying to keep that focus on health, helping people be able to age well and to be able to get relative information that's going to help them and community resources. So that's what we're aiming to do. Any questions about the programming?
I don't think so. Anybody have any questions for her?
I think I gave you the wrong number for the formula grant. It's 1,406. I can't even say it right now. I'm just going to say the number 146580. I don't think I gave you the 580 on it when I said it. 146580.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, thank you, Megan. I appreciate it. And now we're just gonna jump to the Friends report, and usually Debbie has something on that. Do you have something this month?
You're muted.
Who, me?
Debbie is muted.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. So we did have one meeting last month, and we nominated some offices. We're really just reorganizing at this point. Pam helped us out initially, and now on the 29th we have, tomorrow we have an election of offices. And once that's done, then I believe we will be able to organize and come up with a plan and have a report for the Council on Aging.
Well, it's just good news that you guys are starting to get back together and get a board together and get some new people on there. So that's a start.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And now we have, sorry.
Megan, can I ask you to email me your report? My Word document shut down at the beginning and I lost some of my notes.
I don't really have a report, but I could call you or email you just some bulleted.
Oh, it's just up until the first part, whenever you said we've had 484 rides. It's just those lines before that.
Okay, sure.
Like how many veterans, those numbers. That's what I missed. Other than that, I think I got everything else.
Okay.
Thank you.
Surely. All right, so I guess we're at new and old business. Is that right?
Yes. All right. So number one is construction. I did talk to, unless you have more information than I have, me. Okay.
I'm thinking you probably have the most updated information.
So I talked to Laura Stockfish. They did a walkthrough, I think, last week or the week before. They're starting the construction. I don't have my paperwork in front of me for that. I'm going top of my head. Computer room will be in the front facing the school, I think. The plugs for the computers will be in the ground now. They're not going to be hanging from the top.
Right.
The walls will be coming down to make larger rooms. The exercise equipment, she measured, I guess it will all fit in that one area. All the exercise equipment will be together. And she said the game room, the pool table, the ping pong table, and the card table will actually all be in one room. And when you're playing pool, you won't be hitting the wall with the stick.
Yes.
She has that figured out. She said you can leave everything up there in the containers. It'll just be down in the kitchen area because we're really not doing much in that area. And she's hoping mid-July it should be done.
Yes.
So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and you know it. There's always something happens. She was planning a mid-July, but just in case, it could be towards the end of July. You just never know. Something always comes up. Doesn't work out the way they want it to. So. But we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope mid-July and we'll be able to access upstairs. She did say something about when you first got off the elevator, they made a doorway or something wider so a wheelchair won't have the problem that we had when we did the walkthrough.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what the issue was, make sure it's fully handicapped. It is handicapped accessible by the state. But the state regulations and when you actually have somebody in a wheelchair trying to get through are two different things. So Laura's taking that into consideration. Anybody have any questions on the construction? I really can't tell because I'm on my iPad if
I
anyone.
think that's Jackie's hand.
Okay, Jackie.
One of the things, I was upstairs there, and there are a lot of tubs with different materials for the different events. And I think the senior center keeps a lot of things because they really do go all out for each month of a thematic theme. But I was thinking about the storage of those tubs, and I was thinking that maybe there could be some rolling shelving put in so that you don't have them just completely like stacked on top of each other and you got to lift them off to look at them. So if you had like the narrow shelving that actually fit in and you could roll it in and out, I think that if they could do that, that would be, I think it would be helpful.
I will suggest that to them. As soon as the meeting's over, I will give her a call and see if there's any way we can do something with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie, for the idea. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question, MJ. The construction that you're speaking of, is that downstairs or upstairs? You
Upstairs.
say they're gonna, oh, okay, thank you. Because you were saying you're gonna make some of the rooms larger.
Yes, that will be upstairs. So
Okay,
we will,
thank you.
hopefully by the end of July, be utilizing the upstairs, and hopefully our senior center will be completed. It's never going to be completed. We're always going to find more things we need done, but
Yeah.
it will be completed for this part of the venture. And as we grow more, you just never know what we need,
That's right. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we keep growing.
which is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
All right. So next on the agenda is process for event reservations.
Okay, so the process for the event registration is the same. The newsletter comes out and registration is the first of the month. In-person registration is taken first. People who have completed their registration paperwork with the senior center may call and register for events.
Okay.
So if we have someone who's completed their paperwork and they just want to sign up to go to the casino, we can take that registration over the phone, and then we'll ask that within a week they come down and put down their deposit for the transportation for that.
All right. That seems
We're trying to be flexible, and that there was concerns that people felt like they needed to come down and register in person, and for some people that wasn't always ideal. So we're just trying to support our community and engaging with their peers and coming out. People
as long as they're registered with the senior center.
as long as they're registered for the seniors, right?
Okay.
And so people can come down and get the paperwork and bring it back. They can fax it to us as long as it's signed. And if they want to utilize our transportation, they need to have an assessment done to make sure they're able to get into the vehicle safely and buckle themselves up and unbuckle themselves. So that's an important piece, because we don't want someone to register for an event and then they can't get in the vehicle. Or if there's an emergency, they can't open their seatbelt on their own.
All right. Nope. Understandable on that. Anybody have any questions? No? Okay. All right. Next one is staff needs, which you kind of just went over. And I'm going to kind of skip a little because we have the volunteer opportunities.
Okay.
That will be coming up. Pam, this one is the abatement program, correct?
Well, either. I think that several meetings ago, we were talking about when the staff could use extra hands, what event days that maybe some of us on the COA board or those that watch this, that they could come in and volunteer. So let's say that, they're having the Juneteenth event. Would there be extra volunteers for that? Or like Megan, the reason Jackie started with the sewing is because Megan brought up that opportunity or need. So I think that's why that it started being on the agenda.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Pam. So in order to be a volunteer at the Lynn Senior Center, there's two types of volunteers. There's an abatement volunteer and there's a non-abatement volunteer. So the abatement volunteers have to go through the process of filling out paperwork at the assessor's office. And off the top of my head, I don't know the time frame, but there's a deadline that they have to have that paper filled out and completed. They have to be quarried, and then they have to meet here at the senior center during our abatement meeting, where all the rules and guidance and expectations are shared with folks. So abatement volunteers are getting a rebate on their taxes for working at the senior center, in essence. So they have to be able to meet the operational needs of the center. They can't say, I want to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4. That doesn't really meet our operational needs. So people need to understand that component. We do need volunteers, and we welcome them, but I just want to ensure that people know that there's a process. And also for non-abatement volunteers who want to come down and help, there is paperwork that they need to complete, and they need to be quarried as well. And then they need to understand that there's times that we need folks, and those are the times that we're looking to fill, not just when people just want to just say, okay, I'm going to walk down the senior center and see what I can do.
Okay. Now, Megan, I know last year or the year before, I think maybe it was like St. Mary's track team came in and helped for a few things.
Yes.
If they're available during the summer for big events that you're having, can we have them come in with their coach?
Yes, we can. Tristan generally reaches out to us and we schedule something for the track team or other students in St. Mary's to come down. They were just here probably about 2 months ago doing some moving around and helping us here.
I also want to get the word out for people that will be watching this. St. Mary's does volunteer a lot, but it doesn't have to be St. Mary's. It can be English, it can be tech, classical, KIP. As long as they're with their coach or a teacher, we can use their help. As long as they coincide with you and figure out when they are needed. We're always looking for volunteers.
We are, and I'm so glad you brought up the students and the schools. Tanya and I were at the 175th anniversary of the city. And we saw some amazing students perform on the Commons. The singers, the ROTC people, the bands, and we're thinking like, wow, we'd love to have some of those youth come down and help us celebrate some holidays at the senior center. So that was really inspiring, and it's something that we want to further explore.
Okay, we do have, I know people have used the Lynn School Band for different opportunities in the city, so that is something you can reach out to.
Okay.
I know Jean Marie's not here. She's the head of the Lynn Rotary. They use them at Christmas time for them to come in and play Christmas carols during their meetings, so it can be done.
Thank you.
I'll try to get you, I'll get the contact. I know Jean Marie has that contact information.
Well, it's so nice to utilize resources in the city. And it's nice for the seniors to have intergenerational activities with the students and with younger people. It's very nice.
I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
Great idea.
Hi, Smitty.
Hi. What about the ROTC?
That would be something as well.
That would be something they may have to go outside to perform. They need a space, but we can
I'm
check.
talking about volunteering.
Oh, volunteering. We could ask Sergeant Major that runs it. I'll try to get that contact information for you also, Megan.
Okay.
The band and ROTC.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, we are on to outreach proposals.
We really don't have an outreach proposal. We are getting new people every month, so we're not actively doing outreach. We will do the city's event, the Inside Out, And, you know, we share on Facebook and we have on the city's website, but staff is not going out to actively recruit seniors to come to the senior center. We are short-staffed and we're just working very hard to keep all of our program going. And I think that people are realizing that this is a warm and caring place and they are coming down.
I know when I'm at work, sometimes a few people have said something to me about a place to go, and I've recommended the senior center on Front Street. Hopefully some of them have showed up, but I think a lot of it's word of mouth too. And again, being on Facebook, the events you're doing, people are seeing what's going on, and hopefully that gets people in there also.
Yeah, we're pretty full. We had 80 people for the party last week.
Nice. Wow. Nice. All right. Anybody have any questions? No.
Smitty, didn't you call me with a question?
Oh yeah, about the road is going up for getting the food. They have a very narrow space. I was watching it yesterday, and people are bumping into each other. And I can't see why I think that's why we have volunteers to serve people that have rollators and walkers and wheelchairs.
Well, let me think about that for a second. There is a standards of independence that we have for the seniors to be at the center. And maybe a different way to think about that is to call up individual people with rollators one at a time so they can get in and out of that space safely, as opposed to have people bring them stuff. Let's let people utilize their mobility that they have because they're able to get to the center. So I think that they should be able to come up and get their food. But I think that you've made a good point in terms of the spacing. So I will talk to the staff and we can explore having 1 or 2 people with rollators come up at a time and let those people clear the way before we bring up the next group so they have adequate spacing.
Yeah, not only for lunch, Megan, but I could get in where I sit. You know where I sit, and I can get in there in the morning. But time things go on, the spaces get smaller and smaller and smaller, and I have to start moving tables around.
I know that you have a large rollator, so it's a little more challenging than the other rollators that we have. And we're trying to accommodate more people. So let me think about that, Smitty, because if I move away 2 seats, then that's two people that can't sit because we're accommodating your rollator as well.
Right.
I don't know if we want to explore having some overflow room for people in the back room, but then they would miss what's going on in the front room, but they would have more accessibility to move around. So let me think about that because we want to give everybody this
one space is just between 2 tables, one space, so I can get in and out to go to the restroom or whatever without bothering people.
Well, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm just trying to think of that, not just in terms of you as an individual, but in terms of everybody who's sitting in that area and how to make sure that everybody can get out safely because we are going to have some fire drills soon. And we need to make sure that everybody's able to get out safely. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
And I'm wondering, where would reasonable accommodations fit in with that?
Reasonable accommodations fit in terms of rollators or just specifically Smitty's?
No, everybody in general, because like some of the rollators, you have to have 2 hands. You can't carry your stuff. And, you know, and then there's some people, arthritis, it's a rainy day, it's a cold day. My arthritis is really bad. I feel a little shaky. Could I have some help getting my food today? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've seen people with the rollators quite frequently with 2 hands on them and the tray on the seated area. And then the staff or volunteers will carry the beverage for them.
Right.
So they still have a level of independence.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
basi-
I'm just saying with state requirements. If I'm a senior and this is my senior center and I need a reasonable accommodations, have we checked into that?
Well, no, I haven't. But again, what I'm saying to you is that if people are able to get themselves into the building, right, they should be able to get themselves to get their food. And we will be willing to carry beverages for people. But if their mobility is impacted in such a way that they cannot do that, then maybe they belong in an adult day program as opposed to a city department senior center, because there's a different level of care and support they could get from that type of facility.
So you're looking more for independence. You're trying to keep them independent, get up. But if somebody does have an issue, like, all right, I can't get the plate on my table, you're going to go over there and help them. You're not going to say, do it yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're going to ask them to do the best they can, and then we're going to offer some assistance.
All right. And again, like they said, the role ladies, you'll figure that out with the narrow space. Now, are we using the new kitchen or are we in the cafeteria? Are you still in that little room?
We are using the new kitchen.
Okay. So they walk by and it's
We actually serve in the dining room.
okay.
So it is basically the room that has all the presentations, and that's where folks are eating. So the steam table is in the back of the room, and we're asking them to come up table by table, ask what they want. So we put it on the trays for them. If they want it to go, we make it to go. If they want it on a plate, we give it to them on a plate. And if people need assistance with carrying a beverage because their hands are shaky, then we accommodate them. But again, we are trying to help people be independent and self-reliant.
Okay. Nope, that's fine. I wasn't sure if they were walking down the other end of the building.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. So it's still in the same spot it always has been.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's something you can work on that. Just look into it. Well, you guys will figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, do we have any other questions? Again, I can't see because I'm on my iPad if anyone's raising their hand.
No one is raising their hands.
All right. All right. It looks like we went through this pretty good. Next meeting will be in June. And then usually we take, I had to text PM, I forgot when we did it, July and August off. Unless there's something that we need to meet, we would call a Zoom meeting. But the June, next month's meeting will be, last meeting we'll take 2 months off and start back up in September. Oh.
Very good.
All right. Well, we will see everybody next month, and we'll see what the process is, where we are standing with the upstairs at the senior center.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy
Thank
this
you.
nice
You
weather
too.
before it rains again this weekend.
Yes.
Can I just say my apologies for not being on the call? We have some things going on here that needed my unexpected attention.
Oh, Jean Marie, that's fine, but I do have 2 things for you to, well, at least one thing to look into.
Okay.
They were looking to have maybe the Lynn Public School Band play at the senior center, and I think you have a contact from the Rotary.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So
Okay.
if we could get that to Megan, who she contacts.
Got it.
So you weren't here and I volunteered you for something.
Great, perfect. That's what happens when you don't show up. That's fine with me. Okay, Lynn School
Band
Band.
contact.
Okay, fine. Great.
And I will look into the ROTC one for you, Megan.
Thank you.
Anything else for me?
No, that was it. You weren't there.
Okay.
You weren't on time, so I just volunteered you for that.
Perfect.
If not, I'd see you tomorrow and get it. So,
Yep. Okay.
all
Sorry.
right, everybody, have a great weekend. Like I said, go out and enjoy this warm weather today before it rains again.
Yes, you too. Thank
All
you.
right, we'll see everybody next month. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.